or binge buddies, whatever you want to call us. Me, your host, is always Bryan Dressel. With me, as always, is Matt, Zombie Dog, Ghostface, Dykes.
All right. I can't remember what he says, and then I just started thinking of the Scary Movie one, where he's high and he's got the big smile on his face.
I mean, Ghostface family just says, like, do you like scary movies? That's about all you got.
Ghostface killer.
Yeah, or you could go that route. We also have Ryan Harry Warden Lootens.
Harry Warden, I'm going to have to think about that one.
Yeah, that one can be a little tough.
Was that Harry or Harry?
Harry Warden. His movie does have a remake. It is My Bloody Valentine.
Okay.
Well done.
Okay.
We also have Joel Grant DeWitte.
Yeah.
You are the huge slimy monster from Slither.
That makes sense.
I can kind of see the similarity now.
Oh yeah, it's definitely there.
Yeah.
You and how to blank his name? He's like one of my
Michael
favorite
Rooker.
actors. Thank you. You and Michael Rooker. Yeah, 1-to-1.
Thanks.
I mean, that would actually be a pretty huge compliment if it were true. No offense, but there's only one Michael Rooker out there.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry, Joel.
Sorry, Joel. Yeah, you're not Michael Rooker.
You know what?
Joel Rooker, his less talented brother.
I've got no point of reference for this, so I'm just going to take your word for it.
You know who Michael Rooker is? He's Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Michael Rooker. You're right.
Yeah.
He's been in like loads of things. Like, did you watch Walking Dead?
No.
Yeah, he was Merle.
Yeah, it was Merlin. No.
Merle. Yeah, no, he does. He was in Mallrats. Everybody loves Mallrats.
Yeah.
I didn't care for that movie.
Everyone but Joel loves Mallrats. Well, speaking of other movies that Joel didn't care for, let's talk about Halloween 3.
I like the segue.
Yeah, right?
It might be. I should probably just hang up the Segway hat now. I'll never have that good a one again. Oh, God.
Silver
Shamrock.
All right, thank you everyone for listening today. That's
That wasn't actually rehearsed as well.
Good job, Matt.
My mind had replaced
Wi-Fi.
that with It's Corn, and now I'm back to this. So
You're welcome.
Thank you.
The gift that keeps on giving.
yeah. Funny story, might be my favorite part of this movie.
the song.
Yeah.
Wow, I actually like this movie. Like, I'm not here to say it's a great movie. I'm here to say that if it wasn't a Halloween movie, it'd be remembered much more fondly. Like,
That's true.
Having the Halloween title, I think, is its biggest problem.
I really agree with that. I also think one of the problems this film has is just throughout it, like, everyone's so, like, really eager to tell everyone their life story or what's going on. Like, you know, it's just people are not acting like people. Like that woman, she's like, oh, well, I'm from this store, and I do this, and this. Oh, what do you do? And it's just like, nobody speaks like that.
No, but like that really doesn't bother me that much because I can kind of like, oh, it's an 80s horror movie, and like they just need to get this shit out there, and they don't really know how else to do it. So I can kind of be forgiving with that. But
I mean, it never bothered me before, but it's like when you're watching it with a bit more critical eye, when we're going to talk about it in a podcast, it started standing out a bit. Like by the third person who's doing it, I was like,
I was going to go
odd.
I was going to go more with it's jarring coming from the first two Halloween movies where they're written so well to sound like real people, and then you come to this one, and it's a very 80s horror movie, for better or worse. So that to me was more jarring than just the fact they didn't sound like real people.
Yeah. That makes sense as well.
So my notes started about a third way in the movie because my iPad was being a total dick, and everything I wrote into it would just delete when I changed the app. So I don't really have notes for the first third of this movie, but I can kind of go off the memory a little bit, although I'm totally blanking how the movie even starts, other than the guy running away through the parking lot. It looks like a truck depot sort of thing.
Yeah, he goes to Harry's.
Yeah. Kind of an effective opening. Not the most grabbing, attention grabbing or anything. It feels kind of like stock opening.
It works for me though. I think it works for me because the way it's shot, you don't really know who this guy is who's being chased. You really don't know who these people are that are chasing him. There's something a bit off about the people who are chasing him. And then you've got this really good, and I will say this about this film: the music score is fantastic. Like, you know, we joke about the do stuff, but the actual underlying score, I think it might be one of the best Halloween film scores, because I just think that there's something really atmospheric about it, the way that it works. Whereas Halloween has got a theme. Whereas this score, I think, it's really sort of, it feels more like I don't know, atmospheric in that sort of sense.
Well, it definitely kind of hints at the whole technology that's going on. It's very ethereal, so it's very on point with what they're trying to show, with how the shift in tone and the villain is and how that's going to be in terms of that. And I said Harry. Harry's the guy. Walter is the name of the gas station that he runs to. But yeah, the score is fantastic.
Yeah.
And Carpenter wrote this one too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Him and Alan Howarth, who he started working with. Him and Alan Howarth basically started working together on The Fog, I think, and that they worked together for all the other films that Carpenter scored. He worked with Alan Howarth on.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, the music in this is fantastic. Like throughout the whole thing too. Like it just works the whole way through. The one thing for me that doesn't work the whole way through though, like just completely, is Harry. Like I do not like the main character of this movie at all. He's kind of
the doctor.
That's
Dan.
Dan.
The doctor.
That's Dan.
Harry's the dad.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so that's it.
The doc is Daniel, right?
Yeah.
Chalice.
Dan.
I have in my notes as Dr. Jackass, so I didn't remember the character name.
DCJA, it works.
So I think throughout the rest of this episode, I'm going to keep referring to him as Dr. Jackass, because that'll help me with my notes.
He really is a jackass, though.
He really is. Like, yeah, he's not very likable at all. He's a doctor who is more like he's trying to play a cop.
Yes.
And that's the thing, and it's like all the doctors in this is like, oh, can you run this down? It's like, they're a doctor. They're not a police. They don't. How are you going to run that down? Like, did the doctors have access to these kind of records as well?
Yeah, and then the woman who's helping him, what is her job? Is she a coroner?
Coroner, lab tech, who knows? He puts her in charge and leaves.
Yeah, he puts her in charge of so much stuff, and then she spends the majority of the movie looking at a pail of machine parts.
Yeah.
Like that's all she really does throughout the entire. That's not really her fault. I get it that if she is like a morgue tech or something, and she's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. This doctor just said do my job for me and left. So it kind of sucks that he gets her killed.
But even if she was like, say she's a mortician, or she's the one who's doing the autopsy and stuff like that, she's still not gonna have the wreckage of the car in there. That's gonna be processing the crime. They will extract anything organic and send it to that person. It's not the bloody people in the hospital who are sifting through a burnt car wreck to find the body.
Well, I think that's supposed to be the point, though, is that like they brought her the organic parts, and those turned out to be robot parts, and it's
yeah.
Okay, I get what you're trying to do here, but you failed.
Yeah, because it just looks like throughout the whole thing, she's always sifting through car parts.
What I love about Cochrane's animatronics is that he doesn't build in a self-destruct. You have to self-immolate or do some other type of way. No self-destruction. Kill yourself.
Although I do gotta say, like that scene, like where the robot comes in and like murders the guy from the beginning of the movie by poking him in the eyes to death. It's a fucking brutal way to go.
It is really brutal. It's actually a lot more brutal than I remember as well.
Oh yeah.
I like when I watched this film when I went through like the first 7 Halloween films. I think I stopped at H2O. That was the one that I sort of stopped at. And I don't remember it being that brutal. And then you've got the scene later on where they literally rip a guy's head off.
Oh yeah,
it's like
there goes.
Yeah,
like,
this one went full tilt to gore. Like the first 2 are brutal, but they only really give you short glimpses of what's happening, and then they let you sort of infer, the details. And this one, to your idea, the poking the eyes out, the Mortal Kombat pulling the head off and slam dunking it. It's
KO.
I turned my head a few times. It was terrible.
this one's rough, man. Like, there's this like ongoing thing in the 80s between Halloween and Friday the 13th where like the grosser one would get, the next one would be like, bah, we can do better, and meanwhile the MPAA is like, fucking stop. But this is definitely one of those, like, after like two Friday the 13th movies just gross the fuck out of people, and then we're like, all right, we can do this at Halloween, and here you go. And this is way gorier than either one of the first two Friday the 13th movies. Like they really up the ante here. If you're here for gore, this will get you going.
I mean, I think this is probably the first Halloween film as well where, from the get-go, the idea has been, let's be really gory with this one, because the first Halloween film, it was all about atmospheric and things like that. Halloween 2 was originally going to be similar to that, but then it was like I think it was in post-production or something like that, where they added in the extra scenes of, or the extra gore into it, of like, we need a bit more gore to sort of grab the audience because of the Friday the 13th films. Boiled lady, the knife, I think, burst in blood. So I think, so this one's the one that, the first one in the series really, where they've been sort of like, right, okay, from the get-go, we're going to be gory with this one. And it definitely sort of shows, because it's not like you say, it's not like a brief cut away of the gore or anything like that. This is it lingers on it. Like when he rips the guy's head off, you literally just see the blood fountaining out of his neck. And I'm like, I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, but even like the one that we started talking about with the eye poke, like you see the fingers go in, and then you hear like that crunch of like breaking his head. Like it's a brutal scene.
Yeah.
And then on top of like that scene's already brutal enough, and then the dude, which like you can kind of assume like, oh, this guy's not a human, but we don't really know what he is yet. If this is your first time watching, and he gets out, walks out the hallway, sits down in a car, dumps gasoline over himself, and it's just like. Jesus, like this movie does not pull punches.
Yeah.
That is one of those things, and I most of my critique is going to be in the context of the first two movies compared to this one. That level of gore, I think it doesn't serve the series as well as sort of the first two, which were brutal but a little subdued. I have concerns that as the series goes on, it's going to be considerably more gory and brutal. But, it's a minor quibble, but it is something that crossed my mind of like, I wish they were a little more subdued about that.
Well, and the flip side, too, is this one is done by Tommy Lee Wallace, who was a big production designer for the first movie. So he was all about trying to make that very subtle. So I think when he realized that he was in that 80s era, like Brian had alluded to with gore is more, he just went for it. He has that technical mind frame, of that behind the scenes, so he really wanted to make it work, so he went for it. And they wanted him to direct Halloween 2, and he said no, and that's when Rick Rosenthal did his first movie. But John Carpenter said, let's make the anthology series happen. We want you. We have this great script by this writer, and then they asked him to tone it down, and Tommy said, all right, let's do this. And so then it just kind of went for it. So,
and a big important part of me watching these series, especially ones that go spanning, decades, is trying to see it through the lens of its time period, right? So I definitely did that piece of it.
Yeah, I mean, but again, from the lens of the time period, we haven't really talked about sitting here going, where the fuck is Michael? So it's a pretty good question for this movie, but we'll leave that one on the table for now. So after this guy has been murdered by the robo dude who blew himself up in a car, the guy's daughter has to try to figure out what's going on, and the doctor drops absolutely everything in his life to go help her and go on a road trip to figure out where these masks are coming from, because she did some sleuthing and figured out this is the only thing that made sense, because the dad was fine until he went to go to that factory, and then suddenly somebody wanted to kill him.
Yeah, he definitely YOLO'd his life a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
How unempathetic was the police officer as well? That police officer who's telling her that her dad's dead. How unempathetic is he? He's ridiculously he basically is like, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. Parents die, man. Yeah, you get used to it.
It's like, he was just old. Ripped his skull off. He like someone stuck their hand in his head and ripped his skull out. Yeah.
Honestly, I've never seen it before. It was so insanely violent. It had to be horrifying to die that way. Anyway, have a good night. I kind of wish that was the whole scene now.
that would have been so funny. That, I mean, it was almost that.
It really was.
Excuse me, officer, was there a cause of death? Yeah, fingers. It was definitely a murder.
He was murdered.
Is it cause of death? Well, this is the front of his skull that was pulled off, so I'm guessing it's a murder.
Look at this shit. Yeah, I'd say there's a cause of death. Oh man, it just gets worse and worse.
I actually want them to do that now. Like, cause of death? Look! Look! He's got a fucking
You
eyes!
tell me!
Got a hole in his face. I think that did it.
Yeah, you know how we say they died peacefully in their sleep? Not this time.
Not in his sleep.
About it.
Definitely nothing peaceful.
He definitely saw it coming. All right, I'm done.
I think you win, Ryan. That was...
God, that's the one where the cop just high-fives himself and leaves.
I'll see myself out.
It's like, he saw it coming, but
See myself out? Got it? Yeah.
It's still funny. All right. All right, so they're going to go on this road trip adventure to go figure out what the hell is causing this, dude to murder her dad, I guess. The cop is just going... The cop. Dr. Jackass is going full cop. And it's so tough listening to that phone call where he's calling his ex-wife. He's like, you got to take care of your kids. It's Halloween. And he's like, Linda, listen. Linda, listen. Linda, listen. It's a doctor's conference. No, Jamie Lee's later. She's like she's the, if you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again.
Yeah, so, no, actually, his ex-wife, though, is Annie from the first Halloween film.
I thought it was somebody. I didn't remember who it was.
But so I think that's the third time she's been in a film that John Carpenter has been involved in. So she's in Assault on Precinct 13 as well. Like
she's in The Fog, Halloween, and then this one.
Oh, she's in The Fog as well, so that's the fourth one then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She plays Janet Leigh's side lackey.
But yeah, listen to that conversation where he's like, yeah, it's a doctor's conference. I'm going to be gone for the entire weekend. Sorry, bye. It's just like, God, this guy just sucks.
I mean, like literally, what he's actually thinking is, well, I'm gonna go bang this 19-year-old girl. He's literally like dumping his kid. She comes up to him and says, "Oh, can you help me?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll help you."
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can get a hotel room together. You can take your clothes off, and
we'll
whatever you want to do
couple.
while we're there too. Yeah.
We'll listen to someone die while we bang. It's gonna be great.
That's gonna be. And then you're gonna ask what's going on. I'll be like, "Don't worry about it."
I love that as well. It's like they're literally there to investigate, and a key thing they should probably investigate happens, and he's like, it doesn't matter. I'm inside you. This is so much more. This is so much more interesting to investigate right now. I just saw the look on Joel's face.
He's really the anti-Reggie. Like Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie would throw her off and be like, "What's going on?" And the sound of a cat. He'd be like, "What's going on?"
I mean, and Reggie's like semi-problematic too, but he never wins, and so eventually you just have the underdog mindset with him, just give him the W sometime.
Yeah, come on, go Reggie. Yeah, you don't get that with Dr. Jackass. That guy just sucks.
I'm not one to write down notes and say them out loud, but I did have one for this, and it was, okay, so now we're just watching porn?
Oh my God.
The reason why they have sex, it's so out of a porn film. Not even like a modern day one where they're actually doing better stories. This is like 80s porn as well.
Oh yeah, and it's just like the music and then like the harsh blue lighting, the very obvious no nudity contract from the actress.
I noticed that this time. I was like, hang on a minute. That's a very weird, specific way. He's like, she had a no nudity contract.
It's like just the shot of him like, all right, I have to cover her nipple with this hand, and then I have to get my face there without showing the nipple to the camera. 3, 2, 1, and switch. It's the weirdest scene.
It's just the way he takes the bra off as well. It's like he takes it off and then just sort of like, whoa. Yep. And, it's like a magic trick. It's like, and don't look over here.
In all fairness, the first time we were all with a woman, we all had that problem. So.
Oh, for sure. But this guy's in his Dr. Jackass is he's had kids.
I'm
it's not his
not
first time with a woman.
I'm not convinced it was more than a couple times.
That's true. It's been at least twice. And who knows? He could be like the guy from the first movie. Maybe it only took 12 seconds. This guy's he sucks. He might be bad at sex.
He's
throwing it out there.
He's built for a fit.
Wait. What if this is the guy that's fucking That's a whole other topic of conversation.
I think we've cracked it.
I was all kinds of uncomfortable for this scene for a few reasons. I mean, I know sex is a prevalent thing in most horror movies, but like the age difference, the fact that he's pretty scummy in general, David, I feel like I'm taking advantage of a young woman kind of thing that may be a little steezy.
I think there's something about, like, especially in, like, the 80s, like, late 70s, 80s horror movies that have all this, like, just crap loads of nudity. There's something, like, especially the Friday the 13th sequence more so than this one, but, like, when it's done like a campy way where you're almost laughing at it. Like, ha, look at the naked.
Right.
Like, it's never, like, look at this sexy scene. It's just kind of like everyone's kind of in on the joke. Like, yeah, you're here to see nipples, and then there are the nipples, and now the nipples are gone. This one, like, it felt like, no, we need this one to be romantic. Like, we want those couples on dates to be like, oh, yeah. It's like, what a weird time to make that call. But, you know, whatever. The scene's over, and then they never go back to it again. Although they do make a comment, like, we should be investigating more. It's like, well, you shouldn't have taken 2 days to bang.
Yeah, right.
Like, this is on you.
I mean, I think the worst bit about the whole situation for me, though, is when he actually asks how old she is, after having had sex with her several times. Like, he waits until they've had sex several times, where it's like, how old are you again? And she's like,
oh, yeah.
I'm older than I look. And it's like,
that's
really?
not an answer.
That's not an answer.
That's not an answer. Oh, man. I even had that in my notes. That wasn't an answer about age. So then after this, he gets another phone call from the blonde lady, and I don't remember what they even talk about at this point, but I do have one of those things where, like, he asks her to do more stuff, and he keeps flirting with her the whole time while he's banging the 19-year-old. I'm like, oh, this jackass is, like, stringing this poor lady along too. He just sucks. This episode's really turning into I hate the main character from Halloween 3. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. It's a good reason to hate him, to be fair.
Oh yeah, he's a terrible person. That's why I don't like him. So at this point, when I'm watching the movie, this is when Chewie came and joined me, and she's like, "Where are you at in the movie?" And the kid walks by. She's like, "Oh, the kid's not dead yet. Okay, I know where you're at."
Man, that
so
kid.
Cold.
I mean, I literally just called them the Winnebago family.
Yeah,
Like-
that poor kid. But we're not quite to him yet.
I mean, can we just talk as well about the motel being run by the walking Irish stereotype?
Thank you. I wrote this down. So he's just going full Irish, huh? I mean, it's not
Shamrock,
and it's not good. It's not a good.
Yeah,
he wasn't wearing. He could have been wearing a leprechaun costume. It could have gone a little.
I was
bit
just
further.
gonna say that. I was gonna say that. Like, the only thing that's missing from this, for it being 100% Irish stereotype thing hit, would be if he was wearing a leprechaun outfit and eating a potato.
Just a raw, out of the ground potato.
Yeah, that's the only things that are missing. But everything else is there. It's just like, okay, are you trying to offend every Irish person? It's like, oh, Mr. Cochran. It's like,
It's so fucking gross.
Do the Irish get offended by that or just annoyed?
I mean, I'm only part Irish, and I didn't care. But, you know, I'm only part. I was born in America. I don't count.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, like, you know, offense is just another term for being annoyed now, really, to be honest. I think people got annoyed in the 80s. They get offended in the 2020s.
You're not wrong. All right, so now we're at the point where they're going to get a special tour of the factory. We kind of skipped over the lady next door dying because we're more talking about the sex. The death scene's pretty fucking brutal, though, to be honest. Like,
yeah, wait, rips
we're
through
talking...
her fucking cheek.
Obliterates her whole mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And she's just, like, investigating the little, like... They look like... When you're looking at the masks, which we haven't even talked about much, but, like, that's, like, the big plan is put these masks on kids, and then the mask will kill the kids when they watch the right commercial. Mm-hmm. It's weird. But, like, there's something on the mask, like this silver Shamrock tab. Like, if I was a kid... and I got these masks, and everyone's like, you got to get these masks. The first thing I'm doing, ripping that thing off. It looks so weird. It's this big silver tag on the back of your mask. I would have been fine because that thing was gone.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the poor business planning of the mask company? It's Halloween. It's Halloween, and they got a whole warehouse of masks. Somebody
still
didn't
making
do
the masks.
Somebody didn't do their forecasting properly here. I don't know.
It is the day before Halloween, and we've got to stop.
What do you mean next Halloween? All the kids are going to be dead because every single kid is either going to be a pumpkin, a witch, or a skull this year because there's no other variety. Everyone's wearing those same 3 masks.
There will be a new crop next year. You just gotta wait for Hard
Shamrock.
Rock.
There won't be any kids
Quality,
left.
not
There won't be any
quantity.
kids left.
There'll be kids left. It'll be fine.
Like maybe babies, and they're not going to be going Halloweening.
Well, as long as they didn't have another kid in their house, because like those snakes come out of those masks like ready to fight. Like, those are not just some docile snakes; they're just coming out ready to fuck shit up. So
They're pissed off snakes. Is what you know, they're probably like transported from somewhere else. They're just chilling out in a nice, lovely field, and then all of a sudden you're in a horrible like living room with lots of noise. Go, what the fuck is going on here? I'm gonna bite you.
we'll get to the death of the family sequence because it's so fucking good.
We
Like,
are
it's-
all over the place a little bit with this one, aren't we?
Well, that's just kind of like this movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm keeping us somewhat on a track because I kind of have to, or I won't know what I'm talking about.
We've not even talked about the town drunk homeless guy.
Oh my
as
God.
Well. Like,
I mean, there's not much to say with that guy. Like, I'm trying to keep us here so we're not like burning out an entire day talking about this movie. The drunk homeless guy just gets his head ripped off. Like,
I'm
and we talked so much about the head rip off already. We didn't even
Well,
talk
yeah.
about the guy whose head it was.
I'm
geyser of blood.
my favorite moment is tied to that scene.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's
We need to talk
it's
about
okay.
that. Okay. All right. Well, because the thing I really want to talk about is when they finally get to that factory, the tour with all the masks and stuff, because then you have the best sequence ever of Ellie being the worst at espionage. Like, they're in this factory trying to find out what happened to her dad's car, and she just goes running after.
Well, let's also
Look,
talk about
That's
how
like-
terrible is Cochrane's planning that, oh, yeah, this person who we've killed, let's keep his car in an open door, half covered up haphazardly with a sheet.
With
What are the
Nothing
odds?
suspicious about that. Oh.
being guarded by men in suits.
Yeah.
And
Nothing to see here. Just a car underneath a towel.
so like we got Dr. Solid Snake here, stolting around a little bit, and then the tall men, just let's be honest, yellow blood and
Yep.
yeah,
Might
and I
be
and I
there.
looked. This came out shortly after the first one, didn't it?
Ooh, that's not good.
It was pretty close,
79, I think, when Phantasm came out. So it was
like 83, 84?
83, 84, something like that. Yes, about 5 years. So
Yeah.
it's within the time that the yellow blood thing
Yeah.
could
Yeah,
be.
for sure.
I mean they doubled the fun. There were a few of them, to be fair, but
Yeah. They were robots, though, not. Did we ever
Not
figure
tall
out
men.
what the tall man was?
He's a tall guy from a different dimension.
an omnipresent
Yeah.
being. Yeah.
yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made sense. We listen to our show on that. We definitely figure it out.
Yeah. Do you want to answer for Phantasm? Better listen to the Phantasm show.
What's it called, Matt?
Reggie's Four-Barreled Ice Cream.
Thank you. Okay. So you said the Phantasm show. I'm like, oh fuck. Did you forget the title of our show?
I did at the time, but then I recalled it.
Oh, fantastic. Anyhow,
Fun.
Fam. Joel saying no more to puns. So now, fuck. I'm still laughing at the Phantasm puns. Anyhow, I'm good. Or am I? So now that we're done with the factory, they go back to the hotel, don't they? If I'm remembering correctly.
I think so.
Because I don't remember what happened, but like this is around the time she gets kidnapped, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is this where they have
It's
where
right
they have
after.
the conversation about how old actually are you, or have they already had that?
No, that was
conversation?
before they left for the factory.
Yeah.
Um,
Another thing that we didn't actually mention though, like nobody find like the people who are taking Marge, that the woman, out of the hotel room after she's been injured, they're not very subtle. Like
no.
they talk about backfire and he overhears it. It's like, maybe don't talk about that stuff in front of everyone.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, and I kind of get it to a certain degree. In their mind, they're kind of like I'm forgetting the name of the movie example I was gonna make, but it's done. The masks are on people. The signal's going out tomorrow. Like, they don't have to hide it anymore. They've won.
Right.
Yeah,
it's already. Oh, I was thinking of Watchmen, like where like Adrian Veidt's like, oh yeah, no, you can try to. I already did it.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up, but it's done. And I think that's kind of where the witches, if you will, are kind of at with this one, where it's like, the kids are already wearing the masks. We've already got the thing on the stations. We did it.
Yeah.
Oh no, it misfired. Our bad. Who cares?
I would say that's probably the coolest part of this film, to me. The idea that like they're already fighting a losing battle. You know, what are they gonna do? You know, limit the amount of damage done. And realistic.
That's all they really can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer ending in that way. Although it's a great ending. Like, that's where like I can make fun of this movie and Dr. Jackass all I want. The ending, they stick the landing. I think they stick the landing fantastically. It's super corny, but it nails what it's supposed to do. But we'll get there in a minute.
Yeah.
So now that we're kind of in the he's looking for his girlfriend, daughter character thing in the James Bond witch tunnel place. That's kind of the best way to describe it. Everyone who's seen the movie knows exactly what I'm talking about.
How did I describe it in my notes? Cochrane's Bond villain like Lair. Well, Bond villain on a low budget.
I called it James Bond villain nonsense.
I just said precursor to Tunnels of Halloween 6.
Oh, the one I haven't seen yet, so I wouldn't know that one. Although I did find out while watching 4, not to spoil next week, I'd only seen half of 4. By the time I got to like the back half, I'm like, I've seen none of this. I didn't realize the whole like twist ending thing happened at the end of that movie. I thought it happened some other time. Yeah, so that was kind of a pleasant surprise that I got. But it turns out I was lazy when I was a kid and turned the movie off. But anyhow, so now that he's trying to look it up, we're getting to the point where they're like, all right, I don't know why they have to show this one random guy all their evil plan, but they're going to. So they're showing him like the rocks from Stonehenge. Quick side note, Chewie at this point goes, "Gah! It was Stonehenge all along." Fucking killed me. But he's decided he's gonna have to show his plan to Dr. Jackass. Dr. Cochrane is. I'm not sure why he wants to show his plan, but he's going to. And the scene of the fucking like murdered family is just so beyond like gruesome. I think it's great.
They make the kid an absolute arsehole, so you're not that bothered when he dies.
I didn't think he was that bad. Like, I don't want to see him die bad. Like, he's an annoying kid, sure, but
I don't know.
He's just very like, I want this, I want this, I want this. It's like it's the kind of kid you see in the supermarket who's having a temper tantrum. And you just look at him going, "Hit your head, go on, hit your head, hit your head." And then when they do hit the head, you're like, "Yeah."
Maybe it's just me, but killing kids is a threshold I'm not sure I'm comfortable crossing. And
yeah, I'm usually I'm kind of there with Joel. Cochrane is so ready to murder kids. I love that he does it in front of the parents too. Like, "Hey, little buddy, put on this mask
and enjoy the show." Well, that's gonna go to the line, my favorite line of the movie. So,
mine. I almost turned mine into a meme and sent it to Joel because I thought it would have been very funny. But we'll get to my line in a minute. I don't know why it reminded me of Joel so much, but it still makes me laugh. Just imagine Joel in the scene. We'll get there when we get to quotes.
I wonder what the hell it is now.
Yeah, you piqued my curiosity.
I had to pause it. I was laughing so hard because I just heard it as Joel, but we'll get there.
Also, why is Cochrane's teeth so white? Like,
he's got magical powers. Magical lightning.
I noticed it in a few times though, where he sort of smiles. It's like, oh my god, they're very white. Like, did anyone watch Friends?
Yeah.
Do you remember the episode where Ross got his teeth whitened and they glowed in that? That's what they reminded me of.
Hey, he's a witch. He can cast a spell for all we care.
Exactly. They're witches, man. They can do whatever
I guess
they want.
it's a good job there wasn't any black lights around because you just see these teeth floating around.
It looked like Attack the Block.
Yeah. That's a good film.
It's a really good movie. Joel, I know you don't watch movies. That one you should watch.
All right, fair.
Yeah, Attack the Block. That one you should definitely put on your list.
It's got John Boyega in it.
Yep. Yeah. Very little John Boyega. One of his first
And
movies.
Jodie Whittaker's in it as well, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Nick Frost. Good cast. All right, let's finish Halloween 3.
Sorry.
So now that we've kind of gotten, like, we see the plan, we've seen the kid's family just get absolutely brutalized. I guess we didn't really talk about it, but like what the mask does when you watch the commercial they put on is it turns your head into a pile of bugs and snakes. It's super brutal. They all come pouring out of the mask, and it's gross, and it kind of fucked me up the first time I saw it. But now I know what I'm expecting, so it's not as bad. But I just love that one snake comes out like, I'm gonna bite fucking someone. There's a dad.
I mean, to be honest, like you say, was like not just with the ending, with this thing, they kind of, they go all out. They sort of stick to their guns on it of like, we're gonna kill this kid. Like, there's a lot of things where they don't really follow through with that, or if they do it off screen. You don't see it. Yeah. You don't see the effects of it. And I think, like, John Carpenter, when he's wanting to do something like that, I don't think he doesn't really shy away from it. Like, Escape from why do I keep saying Escape from? It's Assault on Precinct 13.
Escape from Precinct 13, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like mixing two films together there completely. But Assault on Precinct 13, there's the bit where, spoilers for a film that's nearly 50 years old, the bit where the girl is killed in that's brutal.
Oh, the girl dies?
Yeah. The girl that's like in it for like 20 minutes dies. But it's so brutal. And they don't, and it's there for a reason. It's not kind of just like, it's just like there's a reason behind it. It's not like just a case of, we want to show some gore or anything. Yeah. And the same with this as well. Yes, it's really brutal. Yes, it's gruesome, but there's a reason that it is so brutal and gruesome, because you kind of want to see, they're wanting to show you exactly what's going to happen. And I think because of how it ends as well, us having seen that makes the ending even more impactful, because you sort of think, oh shit.
So when I watched this movie again and I was looking at it, there's something to be said about why Cochran makes the doctor watch it happen to the family. Because in the back of my mind, like, he's got kids and he knows his kids have silver Shamrock masks. Mm-hmm. But that makes it even more visceral when he is in Walter's gas station where it all began, and he's calling all the news stations to turn it down, and there's kids there with silver, and he's so panicked. It's what makes the movie and that ending stick so well, because you know the horror.
That's true. Yeah. No, it makes sense for like the movie. I still don't know why to show him like story wise, but as far as making the ending effective, yeah, no, it totally makes sense. And it's just
it's Cochran is just like, he's wanting to,
he enjoys it. Yeah,
he enjoys it, and I think he knows that his kids have got the masks as well. So I think it's that that kind of, I'm going to twist the knife a little bit now I've stabbed you.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. I can totally believe that this guy's being evil for the sake of being evil. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say so. So anyhow, so after that sequence is done, he has to go save Ellie. Now, even my first time watching this, did anyone think that was real Ellie?
No, I immediately wrote down Robot Ellie. So
yeah, I did too. Like, the first time I saw this thing, I'm like, oh, that's a robot.
But I think that's what Tommy Lee Wallace is trying to get in his writing, is saying, like, he's not trying to make it obvious. He's not trying to hide it. But to a character who's just so panicked and trying to get out there, he's not going to pay a second guess. Oh, I've rescued, time to move.
That's true. Yeah. No, I'm not blaming the doctor for once in this movie. But as an audience, it did kind of feel like it's supposed to be like a hoodwink moment, and it's just not there. And you can kind of lean back and like, well, no, it's not. But does it really affect things? Not really. The only reason it's a problem is because very, very recently, right after this sequence, you have the whole like, surprise, she's a robot. And we're like, yeah, we know.
So that goes back to my question of, was it obvious when it first came out, and we got a trained eye for it a little better, or
it's possible.
Yeah, I that's a question I don't know, but it crossed my mind.
And I do think as well, like, it's maybe obvious to us because we've been through, stuff like that's happened a lot more in films. Like, Phantasm 2.
This has happened to you?
Yeah. I mean, it happens all the time that I'm dating a woman that go and see her again, and all of a sudden she's a murderous robot that I've got to rip her head off and rip her arms off and all that stuff.
Matt, are you a robot?
Sounds nuts.
I'm not a robot. They're the robots. But no, I mean, like, we've seen this quite a lot now, where it's like, this person who we thought was actually on the side, curse your inevitable betrayal, kind of thing. Like, Phantasm 2, perfect example of that, where at the end you've got that reveal of alchemy being the tall man. Yeah. Again, spoilers if you've not seen Phantasm 2.
Which, why haven't you? Like, you should see
exactly.
Phantasm
Why
2.
haven't you? Go fucking watch Phantasm 2.
That's not even my
Go
favorite
watch Phantasm
one,
and then 2.
Yeah, there's important backstory you need to have for Phantasm 2.
Yeah.
There surprisingly is. Again, listen to our show on it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're here at the ending. He's in the gas station. He is just screaming for them to stop it. Because they're playing the commercial. And there's kids in the station with him watching the commercial because he's getting 2 stations. He got 2 stations to turn it off. Which that alone, who knows? Like, who knows? But he did it. He did it. And that alone, I think, would save some kids. I doubt he saved all of them because, like, even the kid in the gas station is like, oh, that one didn't work. Oh, that one didn't work. There we go.
Yep.
Like, it's a very easy fix. But I bet there were some
That's
kids
the
like,
question. When does that ever happen? That every single channel is showing the same program? I mean,
think about it though. Like, if Cochran's like, I want to make sure every news channel has this on, he's gonna make sure it happens. He's got the money.
I mean,
yeah.
There's always presidential primetime events, so like there is a precedence for that. Talk about good viral marketing, right?
Right. 80s marketing. 82.
Damn, man! Like, no internet or anything. They got every kid to want these stupid masks. They look okay. But
I was gonna say they're pretty good masks, but
the silver things in the back, I hate them.
The things in the back are stupid. They should be inside. They should be inside, if anything, if nothing else. And but they're well
less of a
masks.
chance I rip it off then, but I'm probably still gonna rip it off.
Yeah, but my main problem with the masks is there's no variety. There's like literally 3
There's
different
3
things.
of them.
Yeah, 3. It's like if
this was the 80s though. It's better than
if
the
you have
plastic.
more than 3 friends, it's going to be a case of like, oh well, you're going to have to change.
More than 3 friends?
Yo,
well,
wow, look at you, Mr. Popular. Granted, there are 4 of us on this episode, so maybe
exactly. I count you guys as friends.
All I gotta say is this: these masks were so popular in the '80s that they made an appearance in the 2018 Halloween.
Oh, that's true. Although they really should have made an appearance in Halloween Part 4 when she's walking through the store with all the masks. There should have been there. They should have been there.
Yeah.
Well, they not.
They wanted that continuity.
And that's funny because this movie knows where it comes from, too. There's a piece at the beginning where they show a flash of Jason. I forget if it's a window or a mirror. I think near the...
Michael.
I'll get there someday. Through the span of whatever
episode.
20 movies we're talking about, I'll get there.
The best thing is though,
but then they show them watching.
He'll get it right at the end, and then we'll move on to Friday the 13th, and I'll be calling Jason Michael.
But near the end too, they show one of the TVs before it switches to the commercial Halloween. So it definitely does allude to itself.
So is this a good time to talk about Anthology?
Sure.
What was going to be next? Do you know?
Ghost Story.
Ghost Story?
Yep. Halloween 4 was supposed to be a ghost story. So they really should not have made Halloween 2 if they wanted to do this anthology series. But no. Carpenter and them were pushed. And so they did it. And they bitched about it the entire time. They don't like Halloween 2. But essentially they want to do like an American Horror Stories like we got with the TV show. But they want to make it a TV show all about what happens Halloween night, the different stories, a killer, a ghost, a witch, you name it, it's there. So it really could have taken off, but I think Halloween 1 and 2 were so successful that when you try to start an anthology series right away, or on number 3, people are going to be like, no. And then Carpenter and Hill gave up all Halloween, the title rights and everything to Mouse Akkad, and he's like, all right, let's bring back Michael. Let's not do the ghost story, let's bring him back. And they did.
I mean, for better or worse. I mean, there's a lot of good movies, a lot of bad movies, a lot of whatever. Who knows what we'd have gotten from the anthology series? It could have been the same.
I mean, like you said, if they'd have not done Halloween 2 as another Michael one, I think it could have worked a lot better as an anthology. But when you've already had 2 films with that character, who's quite, it's an iconic character, like, the first one especially changing, creating an entire subgenre of horror out of, off its own back, to then bring the third one out with the same title and actually saying that it's Halloween 3. What they should have probably done, if they want to do this sort of Halloween, like tie it into Halloween in some way, they should have called it something like Season of the Witch, a Halloween story or something like that. Or, not Halloween 3.
Or just lop off the number. Lop off the number, Halloween, and then you advertise it as a separate story within the Halloween universe, right?
Yeah.
And you could even do, like, I mean, this movie didn't really need a sequel, but you could have even done, like, these movies might get their own sequels if the story demands it, but when the story's over, we're moving on to another story. Like, there's a way they could have done it, and maybe it would have worked better, like, more in, like, modern times than it did back in the 80s, because you could have the internet, you could explain it a little bit more, but there's just really no way to know.
Well, with that, like Star Wars did with Rogue One, you could say, I like that idea of a Halloween story, so.
Yeah. There was definitely ways they could have done it. I think it's kind of unfortunate it didn't work out. But, because like I said, I don't think this is a bad movie. I've watched way worse horror movies.
Honestly, like, the sort of the niggles that I mentioned with the story, like, everyone's been so sort of like, oh, I'm this person to, like, help push the story on. That sort of stuff aside, it's still a very well-made film. Yeah. Like, I think it's shot really well. Like I said, the music is probably the best score in the whole Halloween series for me, personally. Like,
more than one?
I actually like it more than one. I
okay,
really do.
Fair enough.
Like, one is still phenomenal, but I think, in terms of John Carpenter's scores, maybe not in terms of, like, the Halloween film scores themselves, but in terms of John Carpenter's scores, I put it above Halloween, this one. But then again, I think when it comes to, like, the scores that he did, I kind of preferred this sort of element to him anyway. But yeah, that's by the by.
Perfect. No, I like what you have to say about it, but I still, you just can't beat that first movie to me. Like, I get it, and maybe it's just because it's the first and that's why I like it. It's just a personal preference thing, because this is a great score. But let's move into favorite parts or favorite quotes or kills or whatever you want to call it. Mine's a quote, and I teased the hell out of it earlier, so I need to go ahead and go first. So there's a part, and I hear it as Joel, and I think that's what's so important to me. The Dr. Jackass is at a bar, and some guy, Halloween is on the TV, and he asks him to turn it off. Or the ad for the thing is on the TV, and he asks him to turn it off. And the guy goes, "What's the matter? Don't you have the Halloween spirit?" And the grumpy doctor just goes, "No."
Yep, I believe that Joel would say that.
Yeah, that tracks.
I wanted to, like, screen grabs and turn into a meme. I was like, "Joel, is this you?"
I mean, you should just Photoshop Joel's face over it.
Oh, don't do that.
You can do that now. It's like you do that face replace thing. They look fucking weird.
It would for sure.
The deep fake stuff. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. I really want to deep fake Joel into the film.
I'll go next because I alluded to mine too, but Dan O'Hurley, who plays Connell Cochran, really nailed this role. It really, really great. He's from RoboCop and all those other great movies from the 80s. But he has a line, just as being a novelty joke shop person, and a witch. I think this line is probably the funniest thing about this movie. But he says, "I do love a good joke, and this is the best ever. A joke on the children. That involves murder."
I think that line kind of encapsulates the reason why he's doing the whole, "and now I will explain my dastardly plan to you," because
that's true.
He was wanting to show off that he is the greatest practical jokes person because he's doing the greatest practical joke, which is killing kids apparently.
Well, it's like we alluded to, they had already won, so at this point everything just needs to go. So he's like, "I'm winning. I've made the best practical joke ever."
Yeah.
I don't really consider it a practical joke. Personally, maybe that's just my take on it.
Murder. No.
It's a very extreme practical joke.
Yeah, this one wouldn't be on TBS. All right, Matt, what's you?
Very simple. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Solid ending.
Yeah.
That really is like a perfect encapsulation of that character. Just impotent rage.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's just, I think what makes that so much more impactful as well is like it ends with him shouting "Stop it!" and then it's just the cut to black and the credits just start rolling. You're like, oh, I guess everyone's dead then.
Yeah. Well, at least everyone who had that channel on.
Yeah.
And you could pretty much guarantee whoever decided to not stop it probably killed themselves after they heard the news.
Yeah.
Could this be
Like,
considered a form of eugenics?
Survival of the fittest.
A form? Joel, did you say yours?
No. I ain't got no diseases. Mind if I have a drink? Dude's pretty brave with his liquor. Like,
That's Jacob.
man.
That's
Oh
funny.
man, I love how he just believes him straight away as well.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
It was the
Like,
80s.
Just keep it. Yeah, I honestly at that point I'm like, just keep it. It's yours now. I can get another one. Holy, that's such a good. All right, I think we did it. I think we discussed the hell out of Halloween 3. This is my second podcast on Halloween 3. No offense to anyone who was on that first one with me. I had much more fun talking about it this time.
Me too, and that's
yeah,
mainly because I wasn't on the one before.
I couldn't remember if you were on that one at all. That's why I said no offense to them. Never mind. So full offense to one of my best friends and my wife. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Fuck you! Fuck you! You don't podcast as good.
That's not true at all. We both know they're fantastic.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think it's time for plugs. I can go first. This show and every other show on the ATH Network. Be sure to check out athpod.com, where we have this show, obviously. We have Demon Days. We have Joel's show, Afterthoughts. Let him talk more about that. We have Damage Boost. We have a potential show coming from Matt. I will actually let him talk about that this week because I made a note to not step on Matt's plug. That's everything I got. Matt, why don't you go first?
Yeah, so me and a very good friend of mine are doing a podcast. Well, we've done the first episode, and we're planning various other ones to come afterwards. It's a terrible plug. Basically, it's called Science Nonfiction. So what we're doing is we're taking sci-fi films and looking at the actual science that's in them. So it's not necessarily films, actually. It can be a TV episode. Like, for example, the first one that we've actually done is an episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which is about comets. So it's going to be me and she's called Dr. Charlotte Gertz. She's an actual doctor.
Not like the guy in the movie, right?
Yeah, not like Dr. Jackass.
Yeah. PhD and all that stuff. So like she knows what she's talking about, and a lot of the stuff. And the reason we picked that episode is because it's about a comet. And she has got a background in comets, so we sort of like talked, and we're getting other people on who work in the European Space Agency or have got they work around that area. We've got ideas because we have someone who is he specializes in space junk, so we're looking at doing a pod on gravity, and so looking at what's realistic about that and stuff like that. We've got a few people who work on like Mars stuff, so we're looking at maybe doing something about Mars and things like that. But yeah, lots of stuff that we're planning on doing, and hopefully it'll be available soon. And I don't know how regular it will be coming out because again, it's reliant on availability. But yeah, it's should be good fun.
Cool. I've listened to that episode. The first episode's good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for when it starts coming out.
We're going to re-record the first third, though, because that was a bit of a train wreck.
It's your first episode. It happens. You should hear some of the shit we released when we were first starting. One of our first episodes had 20 minutes. No joke, 20 minutes of us setting up the mic because we forgot to cut it out before we posted it. So, yeah.
I thought you were going to say 20 minutes of Graham...
No. There was 3 minutes of us leaving the room because we were like, "Oh, Mike's set up. Let's go get some coffee," and we just left it on, and we posted that shit. So yeah, I get it. Joel, what about you? What you plugging?
All right, the After the Hype podcast, Afterthoughts. My wife and I are mostly doing a book club. Probably not a book club this time because it's already the 9th and we're supposed to have a new episode on the 15th. So might do like a movie thing real quick. We'll see what happens. Also part of a podcast called Super GG Radio, where we talk about video games and all things adjacent, usually pre-release indie games as well as stuff that we're filling out the backlog. That is part of the Front Row Network. And also we are fundraising for Extra Life, which is a 24-hour campaign where we will play video games for 24 hours in service of the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Like I've mentioned before, no dough, no Dune. Our goal is $300, and if we don't hit that, you don't get to listen to me talk about Dune.
God damn, that's way more than $12.
I'm moving the goalposts officially, and I say that, but there's no evidence of me saying that the price was lower than that. So
there is. I just cut that episode. It's definitely there's absolute evidence.
I'm not sure if that even exists.
And actually, as a matter of fact, you said 12 cents.
Well,
12 cents.
You know, that was a little ambitious,
Joe,
I think.
Because my donation was very specific.
That's
this is
that's less than the processing
I am altering
fees
the
of
deal.
that.
Pray I don't alter it further. You are literally doing a Darth Vader, though. You are literally going, I'm altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it further.
I feel like he just moved.
I can just see
where,
Joel doing the pointing too.
He's like, how much money do I make this to make sure that Bryan won't do it just to annoy me?
$3 million.
Don't worry, Bryan. I'm pushing hard. I think we'll get there.
Good. I did my part.
You know what's going to be the best part about this is if he ends up 12 cents short. He raises $299.88.
That'd be so frustrating because part of my donation included 12 cents, like specifically 12 cents.
Ryan, collude with the Front Row Network people to make me meet that goal. Just $1 short.
Guys, we need to hit $299.88. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, I'd hate it.
I think there should be a rule you can round it up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, let's not. Agree. No, he's the only one that can alter the deal. Okay.
Start donating 12 cents every day just to offset this. Ryan, what about you? What you plugging?
So I am also on the Front Row Network with Joel. My show is called Front Row Flashbacks, where we look at movies from 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. We really enjoy horror there, so it's October, so we are in MonsterCast month, so Flashback puts out a crap ton of content. We've done Poltergeist, Lost Boys thus far. We're going to be reviewing Hellraiser and then taking a look at the new Hellraiser. So super fun stuff there. I'm also one of the hosts for The Row Knows Nothing, where we break down every episode of House of the Dragon thus far. So that's going to be coming to an end in 3 weeks. But I love the show, and I do full disclosures. I'll be doing a full disclosure on Halloween Ends because it's Halloween week. So yeah.
The new Hellraiser film looks really fucking good.
I've started it. I'm 50-50, but that's only a half hour in, so I really haven't gotten a chance to sit down and be entertained by it.
I've seen the trailer. It looks great.
It does look good. I almost actually went and saw Halloween Ends last night. I was going to go after I went to this thing because there was a private screening. I'm like, oh, I could go, but I kind of gave myself food poisoning, and I don't want to sit there miserable just to watch this movie, so I decided not to. But if I had, I'd be sitting here just spoiling all of it. Yep, people die. You didn't see that coming. Okay, so I think that takes about everything today. Thank you, everyone, so much for listening. Be sure to tune in next week when we go back to Haddonfield, back to the land of Michael Myers. Halloween 4.
Hell yeah.
Return.